Imagine a sound. It's not just any sound, it's the sound of a place. It's the sound of wind whispering tales through ancient forests. It's the sound of Norway, and it flows through the music of Edvard Grieg. Grieg's music isn't just beautiful, it's evocative, it transports you. Close your eyes, and suddenly you're surrounded by the dramatic landscapes that inspired him. You can almost feel the crisp air on your face, smell the salt spray of the North Sea. He captured the soul of his homeland in a way that transcended language. He made Norway sing, gifting the world with a unique and enduring musical legacy. Edvard Grieg wasn't content to let his music languish in obscurity. Born in the bustling port city of Bergen in 1843, he could have easily settled into a comfortable life. But Grieg was different. He had a fire in his belly, a yearning to share his music with the world. He knew that his sound, the sound of Norway, deserved to be heard far beyond the fjords and mountains of his homeland. And so he set out, leaving the familiar comforts of Bergen to study in Leipzig, the musical heart of Europe. There, he immersed himself in the works of the great masters, absorbing their techniques, their passion, their ambition. Grieg's time in Leipzig was transformative. It exposed him to new ideas, new ways of thinking about music. He studied with some of the most respected composers of the day, honing his skills, refining his craft. In the heart of this musical melting pot, Grieg's own voice began to emerge, deeply infused with the folk melodies and rhythms of Norway. He realized that his unique heritage was his greatest strength. He began to incorporate these elements into his own compositions, weaving intricate tapestries of sound that were both familiar and startlingly original. The world took notice. Grieg's music, with its distinctive blend of classical structure and folk inspiration, resonated with audiences. He became a champion of Norwegian music, a national hero who brought the sounds of his homeland to the international stage. His compositions were performed in grand concert halls across Europe, captivating audiences with their beauty and originality. Grieg had given Norway a voice in the world of music. He showed the world that true artistic expression comes from embracing one's roots. Edvard Grieg was born in 1843, into a world of bustling wharves and maritime tales. Bergen, nestled amidst Norway's dramatic western coastline, was a city that breathed the sea. Its air was thick with the scent of salt and timber, its harbour a forest of masts from distant lands. Young Edvard's childhood was steeped in this vibrant atmosphere. The Grieg family home echoed with music. His mother, Gesine, was a talented pianist, and it was she who first introduced Edvard to the world of music. Imagine the young boy perched on the piano stool, his small fingers struggling to mimic his mother's graceful touch. The streets of Bergen pulsed with a different kind of music, the folk tunes and dances of Norway. These sounds, raw and untamed, seeped into Edvard's consciousness, laying the foundation for his unique musical voice. Edvard's musical talent blossomed early. By the age of 6, he was already composing short pieces, his imagination ignited by the world around him. His formal musical education began under the watchful eye of local teachers, but it was clear that Edvard possessed a gift that transcended traditional instruction. He devoured music theory, his mind absorbing knowledge like a sponge. Recognizing their son's extraordinary abilities, Edvard's parents sought the guidance of a family friend, the renowned Norwegian violinist Ole Bull. Bull, a musical virtuoso who had himself achieved international acclaim, recognized Edvard's potential. He urged the Griegs to send their son to the prestigious Leipzig Conservatory, a breeding ground for some of Europe's finest musical minds. Leipzig in the 1850s was a city pulsating with musical energy. For Edvard, Stepping into the hallowed halls of the Leipzig Conservatory was like entering a new world. He immersed himself in his studies, his days filled with rigorous practice and theoretical exploration. Yet amidst the grandeur of European classical tradition, Edvard found himself drawn back to the sounds of his homeland. The intricate harmonies and soaring melodies of the great masters resonated deeply within him. But he yearned for something more, something that spoke of the rugged beauty and untamed spirit of Norway. He began to incorporate these elements into his own compositions, tentatively at first, then with increasing confidence. Edvard's time in Leipzig was not without its challenges. He chafed against the rigidity of some of the conservatory's more conservative instructors, his own musical vision straining against the confines of tradition. He longed to break free from the mold, to forge a new path that embraced both the sophistication of European classical music and the raw energy of Norwegian folk traditions. His compositions began to reflect this struggle, a fascinating blend of classical structure and folk inspiration. He experimented with dissonance and unconventional harmonies, his music infused with the unpredictable rhythms of nature. His professors, though recognizing his talent, urged caution. But Edvard was undeterred, knowing his unique voice was his greatest strength. In 1860, after 6 years of intense study, Edvard Grieg left Leipzig, his heart and mind brimming with ideas. He returned to Norway not as a prodigal son returning to the fold, but as an artist embarking on his own creative journey. He carried with him the lessons learned from the masters, but also a burning desire to forge his own path. He would become a champion of Norwegian music and culture, his compositions celebrated in concert halls across Europe. But his story, like the music he created, was just beginning. Returning to Norway, Grieg was met with a mixture of anticipation and skepticism. While some recognized his burgeoning talent and the potential of his unique musical voice, others questioned his departure from traditional forms. Undeterred, Grieg threw himself into the burgeoning Norwegian nationalist movement. He yearned to create a musical identity for his homeland, one that celebrated its rich cultural heritage. In 1864, Grieg took a bold step, co-founding the Norwegian Academy of Music in Oslo. He poured his energy into teaching, conducting and composing, nurturing a new generation of musicians who would carry his vision forward. One of the most significant collaborations of Grieg's career blossomed during this period. He met and fell deeply in love with his cousin Nina Hagerup, a gifted lyric soprano with a voice as clear and bright as the Norwegian sky. Their shared passion for music, coupled with their deep emotional connection, ignited a creative partnership that would shape Grieg's compositional journey. Nina's voice, with its effortless grace and subtle nuances, became Grieg's muse. He composed numerous songs and vocal works specifically for her, showcasing her exceptional range and interpretive abilities. Their performances together captivated audiences across Norway and beyond. Nina's keen musical instincts and her deep understanding of Norwegian folk traditions influenced Grieg's compositional choices. Their shared artistic vision, fueled by love and mutual respect, gave birth to some of Grieg's most enduring and beloved works. As Grieg's reputation grew within Norway, so too did his international acclaim. His compositions, with their unique blend of classical sophistication and folk-inspired melodies, began to resonate with audiences across Europe. His music was performed in prestigious concert halls, conducted by renowned maestros, and praised by influential critics. In 1868, Grieg's Piano Concerto in a minor received its premiere in Copenhagen, marking a turning point in his career. This work, a tour de force of technical brilliance and emotional depth, catapulted Grieg onto the international stage. Over the coming years, Grieg embarked on numerous concert tours throughout Europe, conducting his own works and collaborating with leading musicians of the day. His music, imbued with the spirit of his homeland, transcended geographical boundaries, touching the hearts of audiences from all walks of life. Despite his growing international success, Grieg remained deeply attached to his Norwegian roots. He and Nina divided their time between their beloved villa, Troldhaugen, nestled amidst the serene beauty of the Norwegian countryside, and their travels abroad. Troldhaugen, with its breathtaking views of fjords and forests, became Grieg's sanctuary, a place where he could reconnect with nature and draw inspiration for his compositions. Grieg's music, though often inspired by the grandeur of the Norwegian landscape, also reflected the intimacy and charm of everyday life. He drew upon folk tales, dances and melodies, weaving them into his compositions with a delicate touch. Even in his most somber compositions, a glimmer of hope and a profound love for his homeland shine through. As Grieg's fame spread, he became the recipient of numerous honours and awards. He was recognized not only for his musical achievements, but also for his contributions to Norwegian culture and his unwavering commitment to promoting his homeland on the world stage. He received honorary doctorates from prestigious universities, was appointed to the Royal Swedish Academy of Music, and was knighted by the Norwegian government. Despite these accolades, Grieg remained remarkably grounded. He continued to compose, perform, and champion the works of young Norwegian musicians. He used his platform to advocate for social justice and to promote understanding between nations, believing in the power of music to transcend cultural barriers. Grieg's generosity of spirit extended beyond the realm of music. Edvard Grieg's career was a testament to the transformative power of music. He took the sounds of his homeland and transformed them into a musical language that resonated with audiences worldwide. He bridged the gap between classical tradition and folk inspiration, creating a unique and enduring sound that captured the essence of the Norwegian spirit. Grieg's legacy extends far beyond his impressive body of work. He inspired generations of composers and musicians to embrace their own cultural heritage and to explore the limitless possibilities of musical expression. The sound of Norway, carried on the wings of Grieg's music, continues to echo through concert halls and homes around the world. No exploration of Edvard Grieg's musical legacy would be complete without delving into the enchanting world of Peer Gynt. Composed in 1875 as incidental music for Henrik Ibsen's play of the same name, Peer Gynt became Grieg's most recognized and beloved work. It's a sweeping epic, a musical journey that mirrors the protagonist's own wanderlust and search for identity. Imagine yourself transported to the dramatic landscapes of Norway. The music swells, evoking towering mountains, shimmering fjords, and the wild, untamed spirit of the north. From the iconic opening bars of Morning Mood to the eerie strains of In the Hall of the Mountain King, Grieg's music paints vivid pictures in the mind's eye. The Suite No. 1 and Suite No. 2, extracted from the original incidental music, have become staples of the orchestral repertoire. Pieces like Anitra's Dance and Solveig's Song showcase Grieg's ability to evoke a wide range of emotions through his music. Grieg's Piano Concerto in A minor, composed in 1868, stands as a cornerstone of the Romantic piano concerto repertoire. It's a work that bursts forth with youthful exuberance and lyrical beauty. Imagine yourself in a grand concert hall, the hush of anticipation as the soloist approaches the piano. The orchestra sets the scene with a dramatic flourish, and then the piano enters, soaring above the orchestral tapestry. The first movement is a whirlwind of emotions, shifting from tender lyricism to virtuosic brilliance. The final movement brings the concerto to a triumphant close, a celebration of virtuosity and rhythmic vitality. The piano and orchestra, now fully united, bring the concerto to a close with a flourish that leaves the audience breathless. In 1884, Grieg embarked on a fascinating musical journey back in time. Composing the Holberg Suite, a tribute to Ludwig Holberg, imagine the elegant salons of the Baroque era, filled with harpsichords and string quartets. Grieg's Holberg Suite captures this bygone age with a romantic sensibility. It's a work of contrasts, blending Baroque structures with Grieg's harmonic language. Grieg's Holberg Suite has become a favorite of both performers and audiences. Throughout his career, Grieg returned time and again to the intimate world of the piano miniature, composing 10 volumes of lyric pieces between 1867 and 1901. These short, evocative works are like musical snapshots, capturing fleeting moments of joy, sorrow, contemplation, and whimsy. Imagine yourself seated at the piano, your fingers gliding over the keys, each note a brushstroke painting a vivid picture in sound. Grieg's lyric pieces are filled with such moments, each one a world unto itself. From the delicate waltz of To Spring to the haunting melody of Arietta, the playful energy of Puck to the profound sadness of Ace's death, Grieg's lyric pieces run the gamut of human emotion. They are intimate, personal reflections, often inspired by nature, Norwegian folk tales, or simply the quiet moments of everyday life. These pieces, though small in scale, are monumental in their emotional impact. They are perfect examples of Grieg's ability to distill complex emotions into simple, yet profoundly moving musical statements. They are works to be savoured, each note a testament to Grieg's mastery of the piano and his deep understanding of the human heart. String Quartet No. 1. A journey of romantic intensity. Grieg's String Quartet No. 1 in G minor, composed in 1877–78, is a work of brooding intensity and passionate lyricism. Imagine the 4 instruments of the string quartet: 2 violins, viola and cello, their voices intertwining in a complex and emotionally charged conversation. Grieg's quartet is a journey, an exploration of both the dark and light aspects of the human experience. Hautusa, a song cycle of love and nature. In 1895, Grieg completed Hautusa, a song cycle for soprano and piano based on poems by Norwegian writer Arne Garborg. This work, considered one of Grieg's finest vocal compositions, is a haunting and evocative exploration of love, nature, and the mystical world of Norwegian folklore. Imagine the voice of a young woman, pure and clear, soaring above the delicate accompaniment of the piano. Grieg's music perfectly captures the essence of Garborg's poetry, its blend of romantic longing, reverence for nature, and subtle hints of the supernatural. The cycle follows the story of Veslemoy, a young shepherd girl, as she navigates the complexities of love and loss, her world intertwined with the spirits and creatures of Norwegian folklore. From the ecstatic joy of Blaberli, blueberries, to the heart-wrenching sorrow of Ved Geitle Bekken, by the brook. Grieg's music captures the full spectrum of Veslemoy's emotional journey. Hautusa is a work of exquisite beauty and emotional depth, a testament to Grieg's ability to convey the nuances of human experience through the power of music. It is a cycle to be experienced, its melodies lingering long after the final notes fade away, leaving the listener spellbound by its magic. Sigurd Jorsalfar, a saga set to music. In 1872, Grieg composed music for Bjørnson's play Sigurd Jorsalfar. The play about King Sigurd I showcased Grieg's dramatic talent. Imagine the clash of swords and the roar of the crowd as King Sigurd returns. Grieg's music captures the grandeur and pageantry of this epic. The Sigurd Jorsalfar suite's 3 movements are particularly popular. The Homage March is a fitting tribute to the conquering king. Grieg's Sigurd Jorsalfar brings history to life through music. Edvard Grieg's influence on Norwegian music cannot be overstated. He was a pioneer, a trailblazer who dared to forge a new path, one that embraced the rich tapestry of his homeland's musical heritage. Before Grieg, Norwegian music, steeped in folk traditions, existed largely outside the realm of the European classical tradition. Grieg, with his unique blend of classical sophistication and folk-inspired melodies, bridged that gap. He demonstrated that it was possible to create music of both national and international significance. Music that celebrated one's roots while also pushing the boundaries of artistic expression. His influence can be heard in the works of generations of Norwegian composers who followed in his footsteps. Composers like Johan Svensson, Christian Sinding and Geir Tveit, each in their own way, carried the torch of Grieg's legacy, developing distinctive musical voices that drew upon the wellspring of Norwegian folk traditions. Grieg's impact extended beyond his compositions. His establishment of the Norwegian Academy of Music in Oslo provided a vital platform for the education and development of young musicians, fostering a vibrant musical culture that continues to thrive today. Grieg's music, while deeply rooted in the sounds and stories of Norway, possesses a universal appeal that has resonated with audiences worldwide for over a century. His ability to capture the essence of human emotion, from the heights of joy to the depths of despair, transcends cultural and linguistic boundaries. Walk into any concert hall today, and you're likely to hear Grieg's music performed. His piano concerto in a minor remains a staple of the repertoire, its blend of virtuosity and emotional depth captivating both performers and audiences. The haunting melodies of Peer Gynt transport listeners to the dramatic landscapes of Norway, while the intimate lyricism of his lyric pieces offers moments of quiet reflection. Grieg's influence can also be heard in the works of composers outside of Norway. Composers like Claude Debussy, Maurice Ravel and Frederick Delius were all influenced by Grieg's use of harmony, his innovative approach to orchestration, and his ability to evoke a sense of place and atmosphere through music. His legacy extends beyond the classical realm. Grieg's melodies have found their way into popular music, film scores, and even video games, their timeless appeal undimmed by the passage of time. Edvard Grieg's influence extended far beyond the realm of music. He was a cultural icon, a symbol of national pride, and his life and work inspired artists across a wide range of disciplines. Writers, painters, and even architects found inspiration in Grieg's music, his evocations of the Norwegian landscape, and his celebration of Norwegian identity. Norwegian writer Knut Hamsun, a contemporary of Grieg, captured the spirit of the composer's music in his novels, which often explored themes of nature, identity, and the search for meaning in a rapidly changing world. Painters drawn to the dramatic landscapes that inspired Grieg sought to capture the same sense of awe and wonder in their work. Even architecture felt Grieg's influence. The dragon style of architecture, popular in Norway in the late 19th and early 20th centuries, drew upon elements of traditional Norwegian building techniques, its use of natural materials and organic forms echoing the spirit of Grieg's music. Grieg's home, Trollhaugen, became a place of pilgrimage for artists and music lovers alike, its idyllic setting and connection to the composer's creative spirit serving as a source of inspiration for generations to come. At the heart of Edvard Grieg's enduring legacy lies his profound connection to his homeland. He understood the power of place, the way in which our surroundings shape our identities and inspire our creative endeavors. Through his music, he gave voice to the soul of Norway, capturing its rugged beauty, its melancholic charm, and its indomitable spirit. Grieg's music is inseparable from the landscapes that inspired it. The crashing waves against the fjords, the whisper of wind through ancient forests, the ethereal glow of the midnight sun. These elements are woven into the very fabric of his music, transporting listeners to a world of both grandeur and intimacy. Grieg's legacy is a reminder that true artistic expression often arises from a deep understanding and appreciation of one's own heritage. By embracing his Norwegian roots, Grieg was able to create music that transcended national boundaries, speaking to the universal human experiences of love, loss, joy, and wonder. His story is an inspiration to artists everywhere, encouraging them to find their own voices, to draw upon the wellspring of their own experiences, and to share their unique perspectives with the world. In the 21st century, Edvard Grieg's music continues to resonate with audiences, its appeal undimmed by the passage of time. While his works are firmly established in the classical canon, new generations are discovering the timeless beauty and emotional depth of his compositions. Contemporary artists across a wide range of genres have found inspiration in Grieg's music. Jazz musicians have incorporated his melodies into their improvisations, while electronic music producers have sampled his work, creating new and unexpected sonic landscapes. Grieg's music has also found a new audience through its use in film and television. His haunting melodies and evocative orchestrations have graced the soundtracks of countless films and television shows, introducing his music to a wider audience. Perhaps the most enduring testament to Grieg's legacy is the simple fact that his music continues to be performed and enjoyed by people all over the world. Whether it's a grand orchestral performance of his piano concerto or a solitary pianist exploring the nuances of his lyric pieces, Grieg's music continues to speak to the heart, reminding us of the enduring power of beauty, emotion, and the human spirit. Edvard Grieg's journey from the bustling wharves of Bergen to the grand concert halls of Europe was one of remarkable artistic growth and enduring impact. He wasn't content to simply master the musical language of his time. He sought to expand it, to infuse it with the colours and rhythms of his beloved Norway. And in doing so, he achieved something truly extraordinary. He created a musical voice that was both uniquely personal and universally resonant. Think of his legacy not as a static monument, but as a vibrant tapestry, its threads woven into the fabric of musical history. His influence is evident in the works of countless composers who followed, from his Norwegian contemporaries to those who, decades later, found inspiration in his innovative harmonies and evocative orchestrations. But Grieg's impact extends far beyond the concert hall. His music has seeped into our collective consciousness, appearing in films, television shows, and even video games, its timeless appeal bridging generations and cultures. It's a testament to the power of music to transcend boundaries, to speak to something deep within the human spirit, regardless of language or origin. To truly understand Grieg's enduring legacy, we must consider the broader context of the Romantic movement in music. Romanticism, with its emphasis on emotion, individualism, and the power of nature, found fertile ground in Norway, a land of dramatic landscapes and a rich folklore tradition. Grieg, with his heartfelt melodies, his evocative use of harmony, and his ability to capture the essence of the Norwegian spirit in his music, became one of the movement's most eloquent voices. His music, even in its most melancholic moments, possesses a sense of yearning, a striving for something beyond the ordinary that continues to resonate with listeners today. In a world often dominated by technology and the relentless pace of modern life, Grieg's music offers a refuge, a space for contemplation and emotional connection. His melodies, whether played by a full orchestra or on a solitary piano, have the power to transport us, to evoke a sense of wonder and awe, to remind us of the enduring beauty of the natural world and the complexities of the human heart. As we listen to Grieg's music today, more than a century after his death, we hear more than just notes on a page. We hear the echoes of his life, his loves, his struggles, and his triumphs. We hear the sounds of his beloved Norway, the crashing waves against the fjords, the whisper of wind through ancient forests, the laughter of children dancing in the village square. But perhaps most importantly, we hear ourselves reflected in his music. We hear our own joys and sorrows, our own longings and aspirations, our own deep connection to the natural world and the enduring power of the human spirit. And so, Grieg's legacy lives on, not just in the countless performances of his music, but in the hearts and minds of those who continue to find solace, inspiration, and a profound sense of connection in his timeless sound. His music is a gift, a testament to the enduring power of art to transcend time and touch the very core of our being.